Hi doctor.
Hello.
So today's question is sugar is the only culprit for cavity forming? And if not, what are the other cause varying factors for the same?
So sugar is one of the culprits for cavity formation, but we cannot solely blame sugars. Okay, so one major criteria for cavity formation is also your bacteria, which is already present in your mouth. But what happens when parents usually exchange, when your utensils, like basically your spoon. So there's a baby, okay, just a baby of 6 or 7 months where the teeth are just coming in, and you're like trying to check the food, if it's warm, if it's salty or sweet. When you're using that same spoon and feeding the child, this bacteria from the parent's mouth is usually transferred to the kid's mouth. That is the time the child, increases. There's a increased chance of getting bacteria, which eventually lead to cavities. Okay, so that comes in one. Second is your sticky foods. Anything sticky. It can be your carbohydrates, like your basic bread. Okay, you're having most of the form of sticky food is sugary, like your lollipops. Okay, where the child is constantly using that, or anything like your Lays, your chips, okay, your crisp, anything which is sticky, which will stick to your teeth, will eventually also lead to cavity formation because it's going to stay there, produce acid, and basically melt your tooth away. Okay, so we also need to look at your basic diet. Okay, so no sticky or chewy food is to be given. Thirdly is again your main and your major one is your oral hygiene. So most of the kids don't end up brushing. Brushing is just once in a day. So what happens again eventually at night, all of this, your food, whatever the child is eating, is stuck to the teeth, which stays there for overnight. The nighttime brushing is skipped. And then this leads to your cavity formation. So your nighttime brushing, your oral hygiene maintenance is must. Even the toothpaste you are using, if you are using a toothpaste which is not meant for your child or which is not targeting the necessary cavities or the bacteria, it's not going to help out. So sugar is one of the major factors, but also these other different factors play a major role into your cavity formation. So we just cannot just stop sugars or let the child know that no, you cannot have sugars, but you also have to maintain all of this and introduce different kind of regimes to improve the child's oral health and stop this kind of cavities.
So doctor, what are the effects of poor oral health on a child's overall health?
So whenever a child is going through some dental issue, especially maybe decay or maybe pain, it kind of affects the child's speech. Okay. One is speech because teeth are not there. The child is not able to pronounce proper words. The third word, the word. Okay. So one is your speech is impaired. Second is the child is not able to concentrate in school. So his academics is also compromised because there's some pain the child is going through. He's not able to study well. He maybe not able, even after going to school, he'll complain of pain, maybe a toothache, and this will compromise on his academics. He might miss school. Okay, so that is one of the signs. Then your third sign is basically even your sleeping is hampered. Now, when the child is in pain, not able to sleep, especially most of your DKs, usually the pain is at night. The moment the child sleeps, middle of the night, the kid will wake up complaining of pain and discomfort. So again, the sleeping pattern is also disrupted. The child doesn't get enough sleep, so the entire day is again not going to go well. Your fourth one is the behavior changes. All of this pain causes a lot of irritation, a lot of anxiety. Also, even when you tell the child, oh, we have to go to the dentist, again that anxiety, all this anticipation of going to the clinic is going to build up. So it's all going to add up to what the child is going through. Another is the child usually will hold the phone in the mouth whenever there is any dental issue, so which will eventually lead to compromising the other teeth as well. Another one is a lot of gastric issues or a lot of stomach upset. The child will be not, because the child is not going to chew food properly. All of this food is just going to be swallowed, gulped down. Okay, so the child is going to have his stomach upset, or maybe the stools also won't be the way it's supposed to be. Again, the confidence is going to be lower because of all of this is happening. The child is going through so much, but because of fear, not able to communicate to his parents. also that social anxiety is going to build in, the confidence is going to go low. So the child will end up having a poor health because the food is not chewed and swallowed properly. So all of this will also lead to the child being weak and not as healthy as it's supposed to be for a particular. Even the weight won't be to the baseline what it is. So hence all of these signs are a kind of your to look for whenever your child is in a dental pain or a dental issue, and the ill effects which the child can go through. So I hope you'll be always on a look for your child's health, oral health and physical health.